Hey guys, this is Shrini here. Uh, Glad to have you guys all over here. And in just a minute, I'm going to start talking about what we have in store for the API and how Upstox API can help you guys trade better. Cool. So just kind of want to give you guys an overview of what we're doing here. We've released this new product called Upstox API. And basically what it allows you to do is connect to the stock markets directly and get real-time market prices and place orders. So just a little bit about ourselves. Many of you may know what we do and things like that. But for those of you who don't, I'm just going to take about 2 minutes of your time to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So we're Upstox, a discount brokerage firm located in Mumbai. You can open an account with us, and we don't charge anything for delivery trades. It's absolutely free. And for any intraday trades, F&O, commodities, currencies, it's maximum you'll pay is 20 rupees per trade. And if it's a small intraday trade, it's much less than that. Our big focus here, what we think is really differentiates ourselves from other people in the market is that we really try to focus a lot on the trading platforms and the trading technology. We want to make sure that as a trader, as a serious intraday trader, as a serious F&O trader, you get the best technology in your hands through us. And our focus is making sure that we're the first people to give you that. We also try to do a lot of work in terms of our design and the ease of use. We know that today a lot of trading platforms try to overcomplicate things in the sense, and it really loses what's important to the actual trader, and that gets lost. The message of how you actually do a good trade and finding the right tools gets lost through the addition of more and more complicated tools. So in our sense, what we spent the last couple of years doing is just building a lot of platforms in-house and trying to focus a lot on end user experience and ease of use, along with the service and good pricing. So today we're going to talk about API and why it's important, right? Um, Now, where this kind of came about is for the past year or so, we've been building our own platform, Upstox Pro, and moving away from the kind of traditional platforms that any vendor makes. What we've also realized is that a lot of our users want custom features. And many of these custom features, it was only asked by a small set of users to help with their trading. But majority of our users didn't request them. And it didn't make sense for us to kind of build each of these features piece by piece. One, because for the general audience, it didn't make a lot of sense to add it there. And two is it requires a lot of specialized knowledge about the person's individual trading strategy, which is a bit difficult to sort of replicate. So what we wanted to do was then kind of treat ourselves as, okay, we will be the a broker that gives you access to both the financial markets. And on top of that, you can then build your own trading platform, your own trading GUI, your own algorithm, and launch it. That's one line of thinking that we thought in terms of releasing the API. The other line of thinking was, my career, I began in trading by actually writing robo trading algorithms. I came to India about 6 years ago and started by writing automated algorithms that, without any human intervention, would buy or sell continuously on the market by just reading the market data and applying logic to it. So I come across a lot of people who have dreams of building their own trading system that does smarter decisions, that does a lot of data-driven and analytics, and automatically places a trade. So by giving these people the tools, the capabilities, the access for kind of a price that I was never able to kind of have myself, I think it's a really big thing that we can give back to the Indian community and the traders out there who want to really take their trading to the next level. So brief about what is API trading. API trading is essentially we give you access to real-time market data as they come in from the exchange and real-time order placement. So there's no delay between you and the exchange, and you're not kind of subject to any GUI that stands between you and the order. Uh, Along with that, you basically get the plumbing and the pipe work in order to manage your own trading positions and to get real-time market data, so you can write your own custom platform on top of it. And what we give you here is the market data. We give it to you as fast as we get it ourselves from the exchange. Um, and this is really important, especially if you're trying to write a low latency strategy that depends on fast prices, and you can't depend on the GUI, then you can use the API to get that direct access. When we were thinking about building this platform, we also kind of wanted to make it so that it's very developer friendly. So when you say developer friendly, basically what we're trying to say is, you can use this API in any language that you choose. As a developer, you might be very comfortable in Python, but someone else would be very comfortable in Node.js. And many people now use .NET in case they want to build a GUI-based application. So how do you solve that problem? What we've done is we've actually made the whole API REST-based. So you can write the endpoint of the API in any language that you choose, whether you're writing a GUI application in Java or .NET or an Android application or a Python script that executes trades. Any of that can be done because we've made it so that it's a generic REST-based API. We're also kind of one of the first few people in India to actually use Amazon Web Services to put a fintech API on it. So what we wanted to do was, we know that when there's times of high market volatility, when the market swings 100 points up or down, a lot of people have problems with trading platforms. So what we've done here is we've actually hosted our entire API gateway, our market data services, everything in Amazon AWS Mumbai data centers. So you guys can just directly actually put your code onto Amazon Web Services yourself, or connect to us from wherever your data center or your house, wherever you write it. And you can expect that the connectivity will be quite stable, because we're kind of using the latest technologies to scale it, even when there's a lot of people connecting to our system, or even when there's a lot of market activity happening. We're also giving you guys a socket connection. So what this is useful is that, when you get market data and trade and order updates, you want it to almost get it like in a push notification fashion, right? When you place an order, and let's say that it gets traded in the next 30 seconds or 40 seconds, you want that instant update on your program to be able to tell when that trade happened. You don't want to be constantly pushing for the API saying, did a trade happen? Has any update happened? And things like that. So what we've done is all real-time notifications, such as market data, trade data, order data, position data, we've given you guys a live socket connection that you can just connect to and then hook your program onto to get real-time notifications on that. Just to show you guys a brief of the technical architecture that we have, in terms of how the connectivity works. Basically, what we've done is, we have the exchanges over here on one side, which is then connected to the Upstox risk and order management systems. So this is kind of where a lot of our orders land, and we have several racks in Mumbai, outside of the data center here, that kind of load balance all the orders and then route it to each exchange as you need. What we've done is we've created a secure direct lease line from our data center onto Mumbai AWS data center. So both of these are located in Mumbai. And if you were to connect to AWS, you're basically getting almost like a very good direct line straight to us and then onto the exchange. So if you look over here, this is basically where your API as a client would sit. You would connect straight to AWS. AWS would then have a direct line to us, and then we'd routed over to the exchange. Now, many of you might be wondering, we hear a lot about how all these people who get colocation and put their servers right next to the data center, how they have this kind of access and how we can get that speed. Well, because the beauty is we have this direct connectivity from AWS to Upstox. If you were to write your application within AWS itself, which you can do without any integration with Upstox, you can get on your own. They have plans where they give you some 750 hours of free AWS for the first time you sign up. Then you essentially have one of the best connections to the stock market in the country, right? You have an app that runs within AWS that talks to us, our application, which also runs in AWS, which then has a direct line to all the exchanges. Everything here is, the communication here is completely encrypted. So every endpoint that you get, every request that you make goes through 256-bit SSL encrypted certificates. So your data is going to be protected. There are firewalls up at every level. There's a firewall here that connects, from the outside to AWS. There's a firewall that goes from here to here, and then there's more firewalls that go from here to here. So we've also made sure that the infrastructure is quite resilient when it comes to handling traffic and load and things like that. So let me just talk a little bit more about what we have for high-speed market data. So again, market data is very, very critical for many of you that rely on getting this data and then making a quick low latency decision on it. So what we've done is we've actually let you guys stream the market data at a tick basis as much as we get it straight from the exchange. So if you're trading something like Nifty or Bank Nifty, you'll probably see getting updates on your API up to 5 times per second or even more. This is very comparable, as equal as you can get with any of the trading platforms out there. And what we're doing on our back end is, as we're getting it straight from the NSE and the BSE, we're sending it directly out and to you guys, pushing it as and when they come in. So getting it up to 5 updates per second, if you are someone who trades Nifty, Bank Nifty options, you know that that's a necessary requirement to have that. So we have you covered over there. In terms of depth of book, we give you guys up to 5 levels for any instrument. So just like you see in Upstox Pro, you have a bid book and a ask book, up to 5 levels of prices and quantity. The same you'll get over here in the API. And of course, everything is real time. So as and when an update happens, you will get a direct update onto the socket connection. There's no there's no need for you guys to kind of query the server and say, when is the update coming? As and when the update is there, it'll automatically send it to you. So along with market data, we also give you guys the interactive order management. Now what happens is, when you are, what the interactive order manager does is essentially, you can do everything that you would normally need to do in a trading platform. You can get all your portfolio, whether it's your position book, your holdings. You can see the full buy average price, the sell price, the quantity, and all that there. And on top of that, you can of course place fresh orders. So we have the basics covered: the limit order, market order, stop loss limit, stop loss market, and we also give you the cover order and bracket order functionality right here. So these are all things that you normally get on the Upstox Pro platform. We're also giving it available for you in the API. Of course, even with any open orders, you can programmatically cancel them. You can programmatically modify them, and you get the status in real time. And of course, you also kind of get, along with the portfolio, you'll be able to see your account balance and risk information. So this shows you everything from the cash available you have, the margin limits, and of course, if you try to place any order that breaks any sort of RMS limit or breaches any margin, that alert also you'll get right there. So all in all, everything that we get trying to build Upstox Pro, we're now also handing that to some of you developers out there who'd be interested in looking at that. Cool. So I was going to actually spend a couple minutes just kind of going over the console and things that we have for you here. So, one thing I'll just start by going now is kind of showing you guys where we have the developer uh, app and what you can do to kind of just start your first application. So if you guys go to upstox.com, um, you can actually go to the product section now. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see that there's a section called Upstox Dev. So this is where we've kind of created our whole kind of portal for Upstox developers. Not only are we going to offer API, but we're also going to eventually offer bridge products. So you can say bridge to AMI broker, do one-click trades, and do other bridges to other platforms from there too. So from here, you can kind of see even the pricing that we have. So this is normally about 2,000 rupees per month and 1,000 rupees per month. And how this works is we've broken up our API into two packages, right? One is, you want to do the real-time position management, place fresh orders, cancel orders, modify orders, and get real-time market data. It's in the interactive package. Now, if you want, say, historical data, say you want, 1 month data, 1 day data for the past 1 year, even 1 minute data, we also offer that at a monthly price. So right now we have up to about 30 days of 1 minute data already stored. And eventually we're looking to scale this up to much more, probably about 6 months or so. And again, this historical data is quite useful if you are looking to do some back testing. A lot of times when I used to write my own strategies, uh, before I launched it into live, I used to take the past historical data, run my algorithm through that, and then if it seems to be making money on that data set, then I would jump over to the real time and then test the strategy out there. So here you can kind of see what the pricing and everything is, and if you want to go purchase and make an app, and just go up on the top and then click login. Now I'm already logged in here, but basically the URL that you're looking for is up here called developer.upstox.com. So if you go to developer.upstox.com, you'll be presented with your UCC and your password. And that's just the same as your trading credentials, the same ones you use to log into Upstox. If you do that, you can then kind of come to the dashboard. So once you come to the dashboard, you have links to kind of create an app, kind of check the billing. Your documentation is here. And this is sort of now your home screen as to how you want to create and move forward with the developer console. Now, the way the app creation works is you kind of go to create an app, and what we're doing here is API trading. Eventually, we're also going to add the bridge for AMI broker and also look at distributable apps. But for the sake of this, we would say we're going to go with API trading. We would create an app name. You'd create a sample app description, and then not you want historical. There's a section here called the redirect URI. Now this is quite important when you're doing authentication. So I'll get into more of this as we show the demo. But essentially, this is going to be a URL you use internally that's in your backend server that you tie to. So then the API server knows that the request is coming only from you, and no one else is trying to kind of hijack the simulation. So anyways, you can type a sample URL here. I'm just going to type a sample URL. And then you pick which one you want, and then you can go ahead and create it. Now, in order to create this, of course, you need to have the money in your account. So what we've done is we've actually created a billing section here where you can go in and add some funds to the area. So what we can do is basically you can then add the amount here, you can add the credit, and once you do it, you'll then pay for it by a credit card, and then you can add funds to the account over here. Once you have enough credits in here, you can then go back, create the app as you wish, and then go ahead and purchase the two services. So let's assume I've already done this before. I've gone here, I filled out my app name, redirect URI, description, I've selected these, and next what happens is, in your dashboard, you'll have a test app. So in the test app, you have something called API key, API secrets, right? These are what we call the identifiers you use to log into your API. So the billing that you saw, the pricing, which was 750 rupees and 500 rupees here, it's a per month billing. So likewise, when I go to dashboard, you see that I have also an expiry date here that expires 1 month from when I subscribed it. You can click edit. You can go edit the same fields, your test app, your redirect URI, description, and then you can extend your things if you need to extend your subscription here. So once you have this API key and API secret, then we can basically get started on trying to see how you'd sort of go about creating your first app. We've created a section here called API docs. So if you click it, you'll actually see that we have a full set of API docs that talks about, how the authorization works in terms of going from there. And then, one second, I'm just going to readjust it so you guys can see it better. So in the developer console right here, in the developer docs, what we've done is we sort of showed you the same things that I've said, right? So you can create an app, you'll get your API key and secret, and then how you can do it is you can sort of authorize the app using this flow, and I'll get into that in a bit. But we've also given you guys sample code on the right side. Initially, what we've done is we've actually created a Node.js library. So in case you don't want to use these manual commands and build your app, you can actually go and use our Node.js library, which is on our GitHub. And then you can download and use this in order to build your app on Node.js. Eventually, we're also going to come out with a Python client probably in the next few weeks. So if you're also a Python developer, you can actually just use the Python library. All you have to do is just sort of put the API key secret in there, and then automatically the Python library will connect, and you can just sort of get all your market data and start placing orders from there. But for now, I'll show you guys an example just to show you, how this whole kind of authorization and everything works, right? So I'll just take a simple command line, and we can sort of show you a run through of how it works on API. So we've kind of go through the authorization in this part. You can see the flow in this image. But what you can basically do is we use something called Oauth. Oauth is a very common login framework. It's similar to when you use a third-party app and it asks you for a Gmail or Facebook login. You kind of go to that Gmail or Facebook login page, and you log in with Gmail, and then you get kicked back out to the application. The same way we've actually done in our case with Oauth. So every time you want to, say, authorize your application, you would have to go to our Oauth URL, which is over here. And what you would do is you would just fill in the API key, which is right here, and the redirect URI, which is that URL that we gave there. And then go ahead and then fill that in and press enter. So I already have it pre-filled in. So I'm going to just press enter here. And what happens is, you'll see a screen that says, hey, look, the application here is requesting access. Do you approve or do you deny? So before the screen, actually, you will be presented with the login that asks you for your UCC, your password, and your year of birth. I already have that done, so you won't see that screen here, but you will actually see a similar screen to where you go, and it'll actually ask you, please use your Upstox credentials to log in. Once you do that, then you'll see this one where it says, look, this application, my test app, is requesting access to it. Now notice that it says my test app over here. The API key is also listed over here. Now, when I go to my developer console, Notice that my API key is over here, and it's called my test app. So this is a way that we sort of authorize and say, okay, my test app is actually looking to get access to this. Do you approve or not, right? Once you click accept, it will then throw you back out to the redirect URI that you have here and give you a special code. Now, don't mind the error message here. This is just because we haven't set anything up here, and this is done on the client side. But what's important to note is the error code, the authorization code that comes here. Now, this authorization code you can then use to get yourself an access token. So the same code is printed over here. And what you need to do now is then you have to generate an access token. And that code is actually right here. So I'm going to just copy paste this. And I'm going to fill this out and just put in my API information in there. I know you guys can't see the screen right now. I'll just switch it in a bit to then show the access token, how it comes in. I'm just going to switch it to the command line. Cool. So that same code that you guys saw, the curl command, what I did was I just copy pasted it into my command line here. I put in my username, the secret key, the API key, and then this was the code that I got from the website. Once I filled all that out, it gives you an access token that gets spit out over here. Now with this access token, you can basically now you're logged into the application, and then you can then get all the sort of orders. You can get information about your profile, your balance, all that from there. So to give you guys kind of an example, I'll just kind of go back here and show you how we can sort of look at how we can get something in terms of getting a profile information and things like that. So if you guys look over here, you notice that you can actually fetch, once you're logged in, information about the user. You give a command similar to this, and then at the end you get a response that's like this. So let me also do that for you guys over here, and then I'll show you that in a second. Okay. Sorry guys, just give me a second. profile. Text pro. Oh, that's why. Cool. Again, here's the code on that thing that we just saw on the website. You have the URL right here. The API key is right here. And then the access token is also here. So once I call this, you guys automatically see that, you get the person's name, email, phone, the enabled exchanges, the products, and everything like that. Now, after this, all you guys need to do is basically then use this command, and then you can call the different URLs. And with that, you should be able to see all the information on a programmatic way. So with this way, you can also get the master contracts. You can also sort of get different sort of orders that are there in the exchange that you have. Many of that stuff you can actually get by just sort of using this URL and then calling it from there. So the other thing I was going to show you guys is how the live market data works. Now, right now, we can't show that here in the curl command line, but what I've done actually here is I've opened another small program that we've written in Python that sort of gets the live prices for currency futures. And what you guys can see is, this is the June futures of USD INR, and you can see the live prices that are streaming there. So if you guys are even kind of watching this, you can see that roughly it's coming at once a second or so. But let's say if we were to pick this as Nifty options in the afternoon, you'll see that it'll be a lot more active because there's a lot more activity coming in there. So this is sort of the streaming data that you'll get. You can even add more subscriptions to it. And you can even sort of add commodities, currencies, equities, futures, all into it. And you'll get a live streaming data onto it. So in terms of a demo, I think this is sort of wraps it up to just show you guys, you have an interactive that you can connect and get some profile information and order information. I can't place any orders right now because it's just about market close on the equities and futures. But after this webinar, we're going to release a Python SDK in the next 3 days. And our Node.js SDK is already out. And the API documentation is out over on the website. So what I kind of encourage you guys to do is take a look at the Node.js documentation, take a look at the API curl documentation, and give us some feedback on what you guys think, how you'd kind of use that. And then we'll keep you guys updated more on what we have in terms of coming up on store. So thanks all for the webinar. Thanks for attending here. It was really good to kind of have you guys all here and talk. So we'll be there for a little bit in the chat room to help answer any questions you guys have. And I know there must be a lot of technical questions coming on board. So we'll be here to kind of talk through and go with that then. And if you guys have any more feedback and things like that, just go on the comment space on YouTube, on the live area, and just post it right there, and we'll have even myself and 2 or 3 developers there answering all your questions. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the day.